नमस्कार, आदाब। बोल इंडिया में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं इरफान। बोल इंडिया में आज हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर परवीन सुल्ताना, जो एजुकेशनल साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं और नॉइज पोल्यूशन के मुद्दे पर बहुत एक्टिव हैं। डॉक्टर परवीन सुल्ताना सोशल, कॉग्निटिव, इमोशनल, मॉरल और स्पिरिचुअल मुद्दों पर कोर्सेज कंडक्ट करती हैं। इसके अलावा वो सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट और साइकोलॉजिकल सलाहकार हैं। डॉक्टर परवीन सुल्ताना ने साइकोलॉजी में बैचलर और मास्टर्स किया है और एजुकेशनल साइकोलॉजी में स्पेशलाइज किया है। She has done her MPhil and PhD in educational psychology on cooperative group learning and assessment. She happened to work at Kakatiya University, Sultanul Uloom as principal, King Abdulaziz University to train their staff. Trained at corporate sector Tetra Pak Toyota Company and Abdul Latif Jameel. She had been consultant to royal family now since 2010. She happened to get entangled in issues of noise pollution. Welcome to Bol India, Dr. Parveen Sultana.
Thank you.
Now, to start with, tell me, what is the relevance of noise pollution to our society?
Noise pollution is a very relevant issue as it has got immense impact on our lives. Nowadays, like we are living close together, mostly we live in communities, we live in a flat system where there are chances of more noise because the noise doesn't spread out. That is one reason. Secondly, there is a shift in the style of living. Earlier, we used to live in big houses with compounds and all, but now we are getting more closer. There is a scarcity of space, and that has led to a more serious impact of noise pollution on our life. So it is very important to deal with it because when the noise pollution is constant, the decibel level is higher, it has got very serious impact on human beings, other forms of life, ecosystem. So it is very important to be concerned about this issue and work in a very active and consistent manner.
And what are the different aspects of noise pollution?
There are different aspects of noise pollution. Broadly looking at it, we can say that the noise pollution may be caused by natural phenomena like earthquakes, storms, different noises that are created by nature itself. More than that, like we have been living and getting adjusted to that, unless they get very intense or that decibel level is very high, we can adjust. But most of the noise pollution is man-made. It is created by man. So that is in our control. When I said it is created by us, that means we are also responsible to control it. It is within our reach. But unfortunately, we don't have a right approach to noise pollution.
And what are the effects of noise pollution?
The effects of noise pollution are various. Let us take up on physical aspects. Physically, it may be very harmful for our hearing. Most of the people turn deaf due to high noise pollution level. When the decibels are high, 120 is extremely painful. Now, usually when we talk, it is 60 decibels, dB we call. And when the planes are landing, it reaches up to 140 dB. So 120 dB itself is extremely painful and people become deaf at 120 dB. So we have got to be more concerned about it. Secondly, physically, beg your pardon?
No, you carry on.
Like our system, it is, there is a cyclic nature of functioning. Like when our system gets tired, it is but natural that it goes for rest. It seeks out ways of rest. Most of the time, if we keep quiet and there is silence, then our mind is active. Our inner faculties, reasoning, imagination, creativity, they are operative when we are quiet. But nowadays, I have observed anywhere I go, people cannot live without mobiles. All the time listening to noise is very harmful. And whatever way I tell them, I try to convince them, they are getting habituated. That has a very negative impact even on their cognitive development. What happens, like faculties, like let's take up reasoning, let's take up creativity, imagination, problem solving. Unless we concentrate, there is quietness. We cannot focus our attention. Lack of focus, the students are unable to grasp, unable to absorb, unable to interact in a right way. And like when I look around, I really see most of the people are very irritated on little things they lose control and they shout. Shouting, basically, I have observed the problem now, even after birth, what happens when children cry? The mothers used to attend to them immediately. It is but natural. Even the mothers will have this instinct, to attend immediately to the children. Nowadays, what happens? The mothers are busy on phone, on mobile. The child cries, he starts with low decibels, he goes on increasing. Now, even when we are living in flats, very restricted environment, in a class there are 60 students, even then children shout. If they speak softly, it is always better. But this is being conditioned by the mothers, right in their first year of life after birth. They start reacting in a high tone, which is very harmful even for their system and for their surrounding. And that habit is never given up because it is right from the beginning. So there are psychological impacts like cognitively, the higher level of faculties are not functional. Secondly, people become hyperactive. Most of the time, the heart attacks, BP, even sugar is being caused due to high levels of noise pollution. So it is but natural that we have got to, take care of it. The most important thing, like in schools, colleges, there is a need to create an awareness. What is noise pollution? What are its impact on human life, on animal life? Wherever there are more noise, there is a natural tendency, even on the part of the animals, to move away from the source of noise. So, when animals are more intelligent than human beings, so why can't human beings learn and make attempt to reduce their voice? And one very important thing, like any form of prayer, meditation, will inculcate in you a desire to reduce the level of stimulation. Now, you could have observed, like at home, most of the time the TV is on, people are talking very loudly, everyone is loud because they want to be heard, recognized, because they are being neglected in most of the time. So there is a need to inculcate a habit of meditation, just keeping quiet and taking account of one's whole day's activities, how they did, and where they have gone, where they have spoken more than necessary, where they have spoken loudly. And every day, if we could make effort to reduce the level of decibels, then I think most of us can succeed. And even it's a part of respect that we don't speak loud. As far as we could be heard, it's sufficient, and it's a part of courtesy that one shouldn't speak higher than what it is needed. So if we pay attention on these aspects, I think we can protect ourselves in a longer span.
When you compare this noise pollution phenomena with the Western countries, is it very peculiar to the eastern side of countries, or does it have something to do with the Indian society only? As Indian society is living in a joint a community kind of a thing, and there are so many community festivals and community occasions, and the people seek attentions, and they show their warmth and all that. Does it have any peculiar difference between Western societies and the Eastern societies?
One difference I could tell you, in the West, uh, the agencies which are responsible to implement laws of noise pollution are more effective, less corrupt, and they are very serious in implementation. And even people respect the law. They don't violate because the punishment are really, uh, strong enough to have a deterrent effect. But India, mostly I have observed, and especially in the state of Telangana, the police is made responsible to implement laws of noise. Our area comes under school area, most of the schools are situated here. So our area, there is a high court order also, like when, they were not implementing the laws of noise pollution. I had gone and met all the higher officials, DGP, Commissioner, ACP, DCP. One particular DCP was extremely helpful, and I always acknowledge his help and contribution. Except him, others didn't cooperate. And there is one more trend in Hyderabad, take up any department, take up police, take up PCB, take up um, uh, commissionerates, MC Commissioner, Bangalagura, collector. Now, unless we bribe, they don't do anything. They are not offering us any service. Take up any department. No service unless we pay bribe. And who bribes them? People who go wrong, those who violate, or those who are the criminals, are in a position to bribe them. Those who are right, those who respect law, those who implement law, they have no reason to bribe anyone. And when we pay taxes, we have every right for the service. This is being neglected. Now, I have struggled a lot. Earlier in PCB, there was a gentleman called Mr. Ravindra Reddy. Like, I used to just inform him, sir, there's a lot of noise. It is due to this construction, or, shouting, or this thing or that thing. He would send people, they'll record the noise pollution, and they'll send report to me, and a copy would be sent to commissioner. Now, PCB is the only organization which had been recording noise pollution and other forms of pollution and giving and providing reports, detailed reports, how much decibel is there and how much is allowed and how much is beyond tolerance, in a very systematic way. But after the retirement of Mr. Ravindra Reddy and one more gentleman, Mr. Danish, when they retired, after them, once again, they too stopped recording. Now there is no one. There is no one to record. When I complain, they make fun of me. I give reference of the High Court order. The High Court was very clear in their order that the noise level shouldn't be allowed to exceed 50 dB day, 40 dB night. And the police protection should be provided whenever there is a threat to this lady, because I'm a senior citizen lady, I stay alone. But police did not implement the High Court order even once. Other organization, even collector, MC Commissioner Bandlaguda, not bothered. They're just not bothered. Day and night construction is allowed. Day and night, music, drumming, crackers. Now, High Court and Supreme Court, they are trying their level best. There was a Supreme Court order, even for Deepavali, that the crackers should be burnt only from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Not earlier, not beyond. And only of a particular decibels they were allowed. Nowhere it was observed. Now, leave alone people, but if the police comes and punish one or two people, all other people will only listen. But there's no punishment on violation. But there is punishment to people who are implementing the laws of noise pollution, are very particular that the noise level should be reduced. So there is no cooperation with me in my efforts to reduce the noise pollution. I give talks going to different educational institutions, and whenever I come across, people who are there to manage, I do interact with them and I tell them, like, we are harming our future generation. We have got to take care of them. We have to reduce the noise pollution because all of us want our children to be very intelligent. The productivity level goes down. People become irritable. People don't interact at a positive level. So in order to, we are all very concerned about the financial aspects. So at least in order to enhance or foster the productivity, we have got to take care of this particular problem. Otherwise, our children will bear the fruits of our negligence. We have got to be more alert. And I think there is one more way that we can counter this particular problem. Educating people, creating awareness among them also will be more helpful. One more important thing I realized, most of us are not aware of our fundamental rights. It's a fundamental right to live a pollution-free life. We have a right to raise, we have a right to seek justice, but most of us are not aware how. So on this how aspect, we have got to educate people. And I think the law should be more strong, and whoever are not implementing the laws, who are supposed to implement, should be punished severely, because punishment should have a deterrent effect. If you leave some people, like government officials, if they are not punished, they are not implementing. But the effect, the impact is on the whole society. So people who are concerned for the society should come forward, voice, educate people around. They are less fortunate people, those who don't know. So we have got to, interact with them in a one-to-one basis. In fact, High Court had made MC Commissioner Bandlaguda responsible to educate people on noise pollution. There is no effort. In fact, I told them, I'm willing to give lectures. So wherever you are gathering people, I'll come and give a lecture on this. But no, they haven't implemented. No one will take interest. I mean, everyone is just interested in money. Where they can earn money, extract money, they'll put their hand in. Now, this sort of attitude, I think we have got to, first of all, change the mentality of the educated people, the more responsible people. We cannot blame the uneducated people or unaware people. But those who are aware and still they are neglecting, I think they should be held responsible, for the negative impact of noise.
And what are the different laws and regulations to control this noise pollution?
Sir, as far I think 1886 or something, they had just started, introducing acts and all. And now it is very well organized, and organizations are being made responsible. And there is a geo, even for Telangana state, it's called GOMS 172, as per which the authorities like police, PCB, collector, MC Commissioner Bandlaguda are supposed to record the noise pollution. Second level, they are supposed to give notices. A first offense itself, they should collect a fine of rupees 2,000. Second offense, 4,000. Third offense, there is imprisonment. But they never have recorded the noise pollution, never given notice to anyone. And there isn't a single record of collecting fine. No one is imprisoned. So people are not at all aware that it's something bad. It has a negative impact on them. So first of all, we have got to demonstrate. If one or two people are punished, let us take up the example of these builders or the labor contractors who go for construction throughout the night. Night is for tranquility, where everyone has a right to sleep, but they deprive because when there is noise as high as 94 dB in the night, sir, and the whole night illegal constructions are allowed. Whole night shouting, the porters keep coming and going. Laborers shout. Like in our locality, some 50 to 60 laborers are illegally stationed. They don't have any facility. Like when we stay in a house, there are windows, doors, we close down, and that is the way we don't let pass our noise to other neighboring places. But they are under the sky, taking bath under the sky, urinating, defecating, everything, and there is no cleaning. I keep informing everyone that laborers cannot be accommodated without proper facilities. No toilets, no washroom, no kitchen, and they are living. And you know that they talk very loud. I don't blame them, but then the type of work that they do, they have got to consume liquor. And once they consume liquor, then they have no control over their own behavior. They remain on the street, they shout. There is no one to control, no one to give them a feedback. The police comes, the constable comes, they collect bribe and go away. And I have been informing. Now, whenever there is construction at night, I do call police people, I call MC commissioner, I write, WhatsApp messages, emails, I take photographs, I record the noise, I send them. Still, no action at all. Now, calling, they don't pick the call. Now, it's an insult, All citizens should be respected. And this part, I think, unless the government takes it up in a very serious manner, nothing will be done. Nothing will be done. I mean, our lectures and all has no meaning unless the law is being implemented in a right manner.
So you talked about the corruption, you talked about the callous attitude towards implementing the laws, you talked about the awareness people have. But what, according to you, are the challenges and problems apart from these in implementing laws and regulations of this noise pollution?
Most important, like our education system, we don't develop the essential skills to live. Like we are never taught in our schools that our freedom is confined to this much space. The other space, just the person who is sitting next to me, is his space. I should respect this. Physically as well, when I talk, I should not. Like, just see in a bus or in a railways, at a railway station, public places, how many people keep quiet and speak softly? We are never taught to respect the other person. At any level, if we are right from the beginning, if we learn to respect, like when it comes to, like, I give sessions on self-actualization. When can you attain your full potential? When you allow other people to attain their potential. Like if I deprive others from attaining their growth, then even I'll not. So in order to attain or in order to achieve self-actualization, it is very important for me to help other people grow. This is not happening. Like most of the adults in terms of age, 18 years, but cognitively, most of us never attain the stage of adulthood. We are not responsible for our own behavior. We are not responsible for the behavior of the significant others. We are not taught to take care of others. Like 75 years of independence. Are we really independent? Are we enjoying all our fundamental rights? Is our constitution fully implemented? Are we giving equality to all citizens? Now, just talking, giving lectures wouldn't help. Now, basically, like I have met the education minister here after I came back. Like I was very much impressed with the books written by American authors, especially on history, mathematics, because they have uh, developed their books or their subject matter according to the structure of the subject. The way the mathematicians conceive the ideas, the way a historian gather the information, with the same methodology if we could develop. So I tried to convince him that first of all, we have got to change the books, the methods of teaching. We have got to train our teachers in a fresh manner. But it was just on a paper and then it was not implemented. I felt very sorry. Like most of us, we don't care. Our people, Indians, are very hard work. Our students are the best students in terms of hard work, in terms of family values, in terms of respect. I feel nowhere in the world we can find such good students. Only thing is, our system of education is not good. We teachers are not. I always held myself as a teacher, as a as an educationist, responsible. Like once we could, it is not very important. Any book, you take up knowledge or information. There are so many sources. Textbook shouldn't be there at all. There is no need for any textbook. People should be allowed to gather information from different sources, but they should know how to combine, how to absorb and apply in solving problems. That stage is not there. There's no application of the knowledge or the information that we are giving to our children. It is just at the level of memorization, and even the type of questions that we ask, they are not application oriented. This is where, I think our education system can play a very vital role to change our society, to create awareness, and to enhance the overall well-being of the humans. It's important that we should change our education system first.
Yes, you said it very rightly. And since we are coming to the end of this conversation, I will wrap it up asking you, is there any hope you see when it comes to the noise pollution scenario in Telangana precisely and in India?
I feel sorry. Like, even I used to give lectures to lectures at police academy. Unfortunately, see how much power you have got to give anyone. There should be a balance between power and responsibility. Like, as a principal, there is no one above me. But unless I'm held accountable and responsible, the powers are unlimited. Who will ask me how I have punished someone, whether my report about so and so is fair enough? This is missing in our system. Any level you take up, any level of administration you take up. Now, when they don't lift the phone, that means they don't respect the citizens. Now, is this democracy not respecting the citizens who, pay taxes for your survival? And you're not respecting them. You just think of it, the vicious process and its impact on the whole society. We feel so helpless. At this level, being educated and I can approach anyone, I can write, but still I feel so frustrated, at times when I'm insulted by people like labor contractors, builders. So at no level we can fight out the builders, and because they earn more. Even criminals earn more than us. So it's not the money, but they are they have the capacity to bribe. We cannot bribe. Our income is limited. In a fair manner, we earn. And we cannot. As a principal also, like even if I have money, I don't want to bribe anyone. In a fair way to recognize someone, you can give. You can just have a system where to recognize people's contribution, you can donate, you can establish trust. It's a different thing. But bribe, I have never bribed in my whole life. I have never taken bribe. I have never taken gifts from people. Like I was at the higher position, and when we conduct interviews and all, like, there are practices, like where people accept. But if you have a right sense of self-worth, so that is the reason I work and I train people for the self-actualization. Once you have self-worth, then you wouldn't take bribe or all these things, you overcome. So the main thing I feel is one's own self-worth, and there is a need to change the education system. There is a need to change the administrative setup. Like the people should have responsibility and not power beyond what they could manage. Like there is, what I should say, cyber crimes, like my calls are being blocked. When I'm on the internet, all my interactions with people, like when I conduct sessions or when I attend sessions, they are being blocked. No, they just don't have the authority to, deny someone their privacy. It's privacy as well as, unless you have a valid reason to interfere or to find out. You can find out, of course, in a confidential manner. If everything is fine, you have no business to enter into the privacy. It is one of the basic tenets of democracy, which is being violated by the police itself. This is where I very strongly react, and I want the government to take up steps to make all the government officials more responsible and accountable for their functioning. Like illegal constructions are allowed. There are two sets of laws. Like those who bribe, they can extend their boundaries. They can even come across the street, trespass someone's boundary. Like if you bribe them, you can get done anything. Then there is no ethics and there is no concept of society. if at all such things are being allowed. So I think all of us have got to fight out with the negative trends. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with you.
No,
It was
I'm also very much thankful to you for sparing your precious time and enlightening us on this very, very sensitive issue that is called noise pollution and other subjects related to administration, corruption, or educational reforms. So, thank you very much, Dr. Parveen Sultana, for sparing your precious time for Bold India. Thank you very much. बोल इंडिया में आज हमारे साथ थी डॉक्टर परवीन सुल्ताना, जो कि एजुकेशनल साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं। इसके अलावा वो नॉइस पोल्यूशन के मुद्दे पर और दूसरे सोशल इश्यूज पर बहुत वोकल रहती हैं। देखते रहिए बोल इंडिया। मिलेंगे अगले मेहमान के साथ जल्दी।